All stories shared on this podcast are based on true events, but names and details have been altered to protect the privacy of those involved. This content is for entertainment and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice.
Welcome to the first episode of Closing Time with the Lone Rangers. I am one of your hosts, Jonathan Washburn, the Dean of Mortgages. This is the podcast where closing chaos is just another Tuesday. Like I said, I am Jonathan Washburn, the Dean of Mortgages. Andrew Rysta, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are and why we are here.
I'm Andrew Rysta, and I ask John a lot of questions. That's what I do.
No, you do more than that. Tell us really who are you?
Yeah. So we're both loan officers. We've been in business for a long time. John's been in it longer than I have, but we want to share some crazy stuff that we've gone through in the industry, which I feel like when you first get in, man, you think like, everybody else is just weird. Like, this isn't that hard. And then just out of the blue one day, you have one of these stories and you're like, man, life will never be the same. Like, this has changed me thoroughly. But yeah, that's who I am. So Andrew and I have known each other literally for, like 2 decades now. Yeah.
I used to be a school teacher and a dean of students before I got into the mortgage industry, and that's why I am now the Dean of Mortgages. But I met Andrew when he was in 8th grade. I taught him in history. I taught him in Bible. I was his Bible quizzing coach. I was his soccer coach once upon a time. And he was such a great student when he wanted to be. And he was an excellent soccer player. He was one of those kids. He was one of those athletes that absolutely made the most of what he had. You know, he's one of those guys when we were running sprints at the end of soccer practice, he was the one that was like, let's do one more, pushing all of his teammates. Let's go. And when he went to college, then when he graduated from college and he started getting into the work world, and I had gotten into mortgages, Andrew was one of those guys that I had kind of had my eye on, that I was like, man, if I could ever find a place, if I could ever find a spot for Andrew on my team, I would love to get Andrew on my team. And when an opening came available for Andrew on the Steadfast Mortgage team, I jumped at it, and now Andrew and I work together, and Andrew puts the same grit and intensity that he once put into the classroom into his loan files here on the Steadfast Mortgage team. So, Andrew, tell us a little bit about yourself and what drives you in mortgages.
Yeah, man. Got into mortgages. Didn't know what I was doing. And I think I closed 50 loans in a year and 8 months or a year and 9 months. I don't remember when I hit that mark, but it's been good. It's been a good run. I think, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it right up front because I want to save it for our podcast times that we will have together. But I mean, mortgages is great, man. Anyone that says otherwise is, a lot of people worked in like easy times, right? And so when you're a loan officer in easy times, it creates, I think, weak loan officers. You hear that statement a lot, but I came in, people would be like, dude, what's it like giving out a 7.25% interest rate? I'm like, bro, I've never given out a 5% interest rate. I literally don't even know what that's like. So this is great. This is just my life. And the other thing too is like everyone, you kind of know this, like everyone moves when the time is right. Like very rarely do you have people that are like, yo, I saw rates hit 6.99 today. Now I'm going to buy a house. Like, right? Like, it's more often it's like they're moving from out of town, they're moving to be closer to family, they're downsizing, upsizing, it's their first house, first time home buyer, and the time is right for them. You know, they're like, I finally have my down payment saved. What are rates at? and they're not necessarily like, they're not really like super like pushed or pulled by the market. It's much more like them, like what is their life? What is the time to go for them? So,
yeah, we had interest rates in the 2s and 3s for years. And when you finally came on board, rates were in the 5s going into the 6s. You got into the mortgage industry at the perfect time.
Yeah,
I remember several of the people at the places the place that you worked told you that you were making a big mistake. Am I right?
Dude, I was getting clowned. I told my brother, we just hired my brother Sam. Shout out Sam.
Shout out Sam. We're going to get the whole Rysta clan on board.
That's right. I just told him, I was like, dude, when I was leaving my boss, while I was helping someone, I had clients at my desk. He was like, this guy's an idiot. And they like turn around and look at him, and he's like wearing a suit, right? So he looks super important. And they're like, what's happening? And he's like, yeah, this guy's an idiot. He's going to do a different job with less opportunity, and he is already good at this job. And I was like, dude, I'll tell you this. If ever I wanted to be successful, it was in that moment. It's like, oh, man, I'm definitely not doing this job anymore. Not after this. My clients are just looking at me like, first of all, this is kind of weird because we kind of like you. Second of all, what's going on with your boss here? So it was weird, but it was a good time.
All right. So why are we starting a podcast? The first reason we're starting a podcast is because there's not enough podcasts out there.
Yeah.
And that the world needs another one. I mean, that's really the main reason. I was searching on Apple Podcasts and Spotify the other day, and I was just like, man, there's not enough of these out here. And so, let's put one up there, because I feel like there's really a need in the marketplace for a mortgage podcast. That's something that the world is just searching for.
John, I don't have enough ways to entertain myself, so I really need one more way.
Well, and everyone that currently listens to podcasts, they're out there. They're like, I have like 5 podcasts a week that I listen to.
Yeah.
But let me put one more into my rotation.
Yeah. Everyone has space for one more. It's like the realtor,
right.
The realtor lender list. You got room.
Exactly.
Get me on the end.
No, the real reason we're doing this, though, is I actually think you might think that the world of mortgages is boring, and a lot of times it is, to be honest. If I close 100 loans in a year, 60 or 70 of them are going to be pretty cookie cutter, and then another 20 of them are going to be maybe a little bit hectic, a little bit rushed. But I'm telling you, you're going to have 10 of those 100 loans a year that are pretty wild, that are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
If you've ever talked to a loan officer, if you've ever talked to a real estate agent, we have some wild stories. And I think that I know a lot of people that just want to share these stories. And I think that they're interesting. They are funny. And I just think that there's a lot of people that want to share these stories with each other, with an audience. I think they're fun to listen to. I think you're going to learn something. I promise you, these podcasts are never going to be boring, and you are going to learn something each and every episode that you tune in to our podcast. Andrew, you've been in the industry for a couple years now.
Yep.
Have you ever run into something crazy that made you think, wow, I didn't realize that was even possible?
Yeah. Like I feel like yesterday, just last week, no, it was Tuesday. Sorry. I'm all over the place. Tuesday. Legitimately, I got the first cookie cutter pre-approval I've had in like a month, 2 months. Like, it was just like, got everything in, pre-approved the guy, went on. And it was like, dude, I haven't done that in a long time, So yeah, I mean, there's been some really crazy stuff that I'm sure I'll share eventually on the podcast. Like, I remember having a conversation with you where it was like, hey man, you're probably gonna have to call this lawyer from Georgia and get this letter that states that there's a fraudulent judgment that this furniture company put on this guy's credit report, and maybe the lender will accept it. It's like, I don't know if this is in any mortgage loan officer training, or if I've like, is this part of my job? Like, I'm calling a law firm and I'm like, hey, can you write this letter? Like, I think this is legal. Like, I'm sure you guys will tell me if it's not, but like, I think this is what happened. And I was like, man, this is crazy. So yeah, I've got some ridiculous stories. Tell us about how we're gonna hold anonymity.
Yeah.
Because we can't, obviously we can't share personal information, but we're gonna share personal information, but we're gonna try to keep it anonymous.
Absolutely. So, all of the stories that you are going to hear on this podcast are based on true events, but the names and the details have been altered to protect the privacy of those that are involved. All right. So this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. And most importantly, again, all of the names and details will have been altered in order to protect the privacy of those people involved. All right. So to kick things off, every single week, we're going to bring on a new guest to share that guest's wildest and crazy story from the mortgage industry, from the real estate industry. To kick things off, I'm going to share one of my wildest and crazy stories, a story that still keeps me up at night. It is a story that, I kid you not, involves Mexican drug lords, the FBI, a most wanted list, and hundreds of thousands of dollars being lost, nowhere to be found. Andrew, are you ready to hear this story? No hyperbole. This is all 100% true.
Well, first of all, let's be down to earth. I know you, so this is gonna be like 85% true.
I promise.
93% true.
Everything about this story is true except for the details and names.
I got you. Yeah,
that have been changed to protect anonymity.
Yeah. When we tell our stories, we don't want to embellish them too much. So yeah, I believe you that you're going to keep it,
Yes.
pretty.
Nothing will be embellished. This is, this is closing time with the Lone Rangers. If you can't trust us, who can you trust? All right. And to keep this fun, all names are going to be replaced with Western themed names, right? Because we're the Lone Rangers, right?
I'm so ready.
So, we might even show up one of these weeks with like cowboy hats and, toy guns or something to, to just lean into this gimmick. All right. So here's this one closing, the story of the closing that I will never forget. All right. So I'm working on a loan. This might be a couple weeks ago, it might be a couple months ago, it might be a couple years ago. Again, details are going to be changed to protect the anonymity of this person. All right. But for the first, 30 days of the loan process, everything went extraordinarily well with this closing. All right. Pre-approval, totally fine. And we're going to name this borrower Cletus McGraw.
Cletus,
all right.
I love it.
This borrower, we're going to call him Cletus. That ain't his real name, but let's just call him Cletus. A very generic Western name, a name that a lot of people of this borrower's ethnicity might have had. All right. Cletus McGraw. Cletus McGraw was a great borrower. Fantastic credit. Was putting a lot of money down.
What kind of loan was it, John?
Standard conventional loan.
Oh, nice.
All right. A standard conventional loan, putting lots of money down, low DTI. I believe he was a salaried employee. It was like, seriously, one of those beautiful pre-approvals that I got all of the loan docs, pulled the credit, ran findings, and I was like, man, I would never guarantee anything because you never guarantee anything in this industry. But I called up the real estate agent. And I'm like, hey, this is good. He wants to buy something for $350,000, but honestly, he could go up to $500,000, $600,000 if he wanted. But he's being super conservative, so he wants to stay in the $350,000 range. Wants a nice low mortgage payment of this amount. So yeah, like you're totally fine. Here's a pre-approval. If you want to hire one, let me know. But we're good to go. And Cletus McGraw was awesome, right? He found a house Real estate agent told him, you're going to need to offer this much to get it. Cletus McGraw actually listened to his real estate agent.
Dude, that's crazy.
Offered the amount the real estate agent told him to offer and got the first house he offered on. It was amazing. Real estate agent's like, hey, can you do a 30-day close, John? I was like, yeah, we can do a 30-day close, especially with this borrower. This guy, Cletus, is a great borrower.
Yeah.
Right? Fantastic. When I asked him to send in the documents for his pre-approval, he sent them in that day. So I'm sure we can do an easy, nice, knockdown 30-day close for this guy. Not only could we do a 30-day close, appraisal came back on time at value. We got this bad boy clear to close in 22 days. All right.
Nice.
So we're like, oh, beautiful. Clear to close 8 days early. I remember calling up both agents, real estate buyer's agent, seller's agent, title company. Hey, we're clear to close 8 days early. Anyone want to move up the closing date? No one wanted to move up the closing date because the sellers, they were also buying another house. And the house that they were buying, those people weren't ready to move up the closing date. So we needed to keep the closing date where it was. But everyone was very relieved that, we were clear to close on time. Meanwhile, my borrower, Cletus McGraw, he was also, he was selling his house to another borrower that was buying his house. All right. So we got this. All right. We've got a domino effect.
Yep.
All right. So we've got like Buck and Jolene Rollins are buying Cletus McGraw's house so that Cletus McGraw can buy Maisie Bell Cartwright's house. All right. So we've got 3 people who are buying and selling and buying and selling and buying and selling house. So we've got 3 dominoes that have to fall in quick succession, but it's okay because Cletus McGraw, my wonderful borrower, my A+ 10 out of 10 borrower who's been nothing but the perfect buyer this entire time, is clear to close 8 days early. So closing day comes and still no problems. He goes to the title company. He goes to the title office, signs his paperwork, goes to his bank, wires the money to the title company. And then the lender that I was working with at the time, which I'm not going to say because again, we're not going to drop all the details.
Wait. Can we create a name for it? We need to create a lender name real quick. Hold on, let's think real quick. A Western lender name. Just like Yosemite something. Yosemite Mortgage Company.
Yosemite Mortgage actually exists. Sorry about that.
Yosemite Mortgage.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yosemite Mortgage. All right. So Yosemite Mortgage wires about $300,000 to the title company. So Cletus McGraw signs his paperwork, goes to his bank, wires his money. Yosemite Mortgage sends $300,000 to the title company. And as a loan officer, your job is done. Right?
Yeah.
Like what else are you waiting for? Like your
Make
job
sure
is
they
done.
send you the check to the right place.
Yeah.
You know?
Send my check. I'm done. Like I did beautiful work. An hour goes by. I get a call from the title company. Hey, John, did you, we haven't gotten the money from Yosemite Mortgage. I'm like, oh, that happens sometimes. It can take up to 2 hours for that wire to hit. So just, we're fine. Let me make sure that my funder, that Deputy Doc Draws sent the money, but let me make sure my funder sent it, but you should be good. Hey, Deputy Doc Draws, did you send that money? Yeah, you did. Okay, yeah. It can take up to 2 hours. No big deal.
Yeah.
Title company gets off the phone. Okay, fine. 2 hours later, title company calls. Hey, John, we still don't have the money, and we're kind of getting nervous.
At this point, though, for viewers, like you're still not like worried, right? Like,
I'm still not worried, but it's been 3 hours now, and I'm like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, you're kind of like it. You're like hoping it. You're like hoping it was like a fluke, but you're not like you're not terrified yet. Yeah, it's good.
So now it's been 4 hours, and I reach out to Deputy Doc Draws, right, the funder, And I'm like, hey, the title company still hasn't gotten the money. This is weird, right? And she starts freaking out. And she goes, they should have gotten it. We absolutely sent it. It should not take longer than 2 hours. I need to get the title instructions. I'm like, okay.
You wire the money in the wrong place, man.
Did you wire the money to the wrong place? And now I start remembering because this, well, at the time, again, no details, but at the time, it was a time in this country where I had remembered getting lots of email about wire fraud being a big deal. Make sure you get the instructions from the title company specifically. Ignore instructions if you get them from somebody that is not the title company. And so now the biggest concern, and I heard like a through the grapevine that we had sent a wire of a large amount to the wrong place and we had been defrauded out of several $100,000s. I'm like, did this happen?
So
right?
that's a quick job recommendation for you. If you would like to keep your job, do not wire $200,000 to the wrong place. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Quick aside, if you are buying a house, right? If you're buying a house, it's a good idea not to post things on social media during the process.
Oh yeah,
because this is actually a time where scammers are looking to see to find out, like to see people out there who are who can be defrauded, right? And you are the type of person that they might send an email to, like, oh, they find out that you're buying a house, so they can send an email like, hey, wire this money to so and so for your earnest money. Wire this money to me for your check for the down payment for the closing costs, right? So at this point, it's been 4 hours since my funder wired the money, and I think worst case scenario, she's just sent $300,000 to the wrong person.
Yeah, she's about to have no job.
She's about to have no job. It wasn't on me though.
Yeah,
I didn't tell her to send that money.
Hey guys, crazy thing. Somebody's getting fired. Let's all feel bad for her.
Yeah. But now my borrower is calling me, right? Cletus is calling me like, John, like, what happened? I'm like, don't worry, Cletus, you didn't do anything wrong. I think the funder may have sent the money to the wrong person, right? I think the funder may have sent the money to the wrong, company. We're going to figure it out. But meanwhile, like the listing agent is like, well, I don't care what you did. I don't know what happened, but Cletus, you can't move into this house until my seller gets his money.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Right.
And also Cletus just sold his house.
Yeah.
So he don't got no place to go.
He trying not to be homeless.
Right.
He gonna be out on the street.
Well, long story short, another hour later, we get word that the funder did send it to the right place. But before it got to the title company, the Federal Reserve stepped in because there happens to be another fellow that has Cletus McGraw's same name. And that fellow is also a Mexican drug lord that was on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list at the time.
This is like such a tipping point of the story. I really want to know how you got this information. Like, was this a phone call? Was this just like a reply all email that we're all reading? Was it a text message? Like,
I got a phone call from like the third highest up person at my company at the time.
Yosemite Mortgage. This is
Yosemite
like
Mortgage's third highest in command.
That's awesome.
And was like, yo, this is going to sound crazy, but here's the deal. Your borrower has the same name as this person that is very high up on this criminal list.
Yeah.
And we know he's not the same person.
Yeah.
And you know he's not the same person. But the Federal Reserve doesn't know that he's not the same person. Again,
Yeah.
Cletus McGraw is a very common name, right? Like 80 out of every 100 people in, Yosemite National, Yosemite Village
Are
in
named
Wyoming
Cletus.
are named
Yeah.
Cletus,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Poor Cletus. I still feel bad for Cletus to this day.
Yeah.
But the Federal Reserve and the FBI have to do their research on this, and it might take up to 10 days
Jeez.
for them to release these funds to the title company for him to be able to purchase this home.
Right. See, this is the crazy thing because a lot of people like in transactions want to point blame.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't know what you want from me, but I didn't check. It's not a normal pre-approval process where I'm like, yeah, good income, good assets. Now let me check the most wanted list. Let me get that out of the way quick. Like, that's crazy. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I mean, so long story short, poor Cletus had to live in a hotel for about 6 days while we literally all just stayed in limbo, waiting for the Federal Reserve and the literal FBI
That's
to
crazy.
do their due diligence
That's crazy.
on poor Cletus McGraw and decipher whether or not he was the same Cletus McGraw that was on their most wanted list from a foreign country. Now, happily, Cletus was a good guy. He did not have the same identity as that foreign bad guy. And Cletus got his house 6 days later. But all three people, Buck and Jolene Rollins, had to wait. Cletus had to wait. Maisie Bell Cartwright had to wait. All three families had to wait because Cletus shared the same name with a bad guy from a foreign country. Cletus didn't do anything wrong. I, as a loan officer, didn't do anything wrong. No real estate agents did anything wrong. Title company didn't do anything wrong. Our funder didn't do anything wrong. Honestly, one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in mortgages. I don't know if it will ever be topped. And I don't know.
I got some questions. I got some thoughts. Also, if it's Cletus McGraw, he like the foreign country we're speaking of is definitely Australia. Like, there's no way. Yeah, there's a guy in Australia named Cletus McGraw, and he is a foreign criminal.
Yes.
So, what was the calls like? So everyone that's been a loan, if you're a loan officer listening to this, you're on one end because you've made calls that you're like, yo, everybody about to hate me, whether it's your fault or not. Like it's kind of dumb, but it is understandable. Like there's times in loans where it's like, it's not your fault, but you also know that there's no way you can explain it enough for them to understand it. So you're just going to have to eat it, right? Like, so you're on the phone and you're like, hey, you're trying to smooth things over. So you had to call. I mean, if you're just thinking about the agents involved, you had 2 agents in front of you, 2 agents on your deal, 2 agents behind you. Like how, like in the transaction before yours, what were those calls like? Tell us about those.
Yeah, it was wild. So it was one of those things. You ever have been in that situation where you had the same conversation over and over with 6 different people?
Yes.
And it's just like
draining.
You feel like, okay, I've had the same conversation 3 times now. Surely the 4th one will go better. And then the 4th one goes just as poorly as the first 3.
Yes.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. It was like Brian Regan has this bit where he talks about how bad it would be to be the person that works at the counter at the airport where you talk to people that have missing luggage. And it's like, let me guess, you're furious, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was like talking to all 6 of those people.
Yeah.
Like, let me guess, you think I'm lying,
yeah.
right?
Like-
and my resolution for you is I have no idea on the timeline. We all just sit here and wait. There's nothing for us to do until the Federal Reserve and the FBI decide that this person either is or is not the drug lord from this foreign country.
Yeah.
That again, we're just saying is Mexico, but I'm not actually telling you is the actual one, right? This foreign country that we don't, it maybe he is, maybe Cletus is or is not this foreign drug lord, right?
Dude. Absolute crazy. The other thing too is like I feel like a lot of real estate agents, like I saw a real estate agent on social media the other day who was like bashing an internet lender, and he was hating on him in the wrong way. Like he didn't. Like what he was saying, I could instantly understand what the problem was. Like I know because it happened to me like 3 weeks ago, but I'm like more involved than most loan officers, so I like fixed it on my own before we got to right 2 hours before we closed. But like it was clear that like he was not being fed either the truth or he just didn't understand, right? And so like I feel like even in this instance, like it's it's just so tough to like explain. And also at the same point, you're trying to explain like this would have happened with anyone. Like it doesn't, it's not me. Like it's not Yosemite Mortgage. It's not, it is literally the Federal Reserve would have picked this up either way. FBI would have been involved, whether you're with, a big bank or,
Dude, everyone's named Cletus, right? Everyone has the name of Cletus. Like I feel bad for Cletus, but man, it's funny. I still do business with the real estate agent that we did that was Cletus's agent. Right? I still do business with him, and we still joke about this because it was such a wild time. We did not joke about it very much while this was happening, right?
Yeah.
But looking back on it now,
it's a great story.
We're able to find the humor in it, and just it's also one of those things. We don't remember how beautiful and how wonderful the rest of the loan was up until that point, right?
Yeah.
Because something that was completely out of our control happened afterwards.
You got that recency bias.
Destroy the entire, to destroy the entire process.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So I'm gonna. That's crazy. I hope I never have the FBI or Federal Reserve involved in one of my loans. Next time I'm gonna tell my craziest loan story, and I don't really know where I'm gonna go. I've got a couple options like Jack Frost, or I don't know. Jack Frost had his wife put down his credit. Or his you remember this. His wife put down his social security number, and we went all the way through, which is really fluky because if you know anything about credit reports, it comes up with a mismatch and says this isn't the right credit, but it was just the wrong social. Somehow the credit bureaus gave us the right credit report. The first digit of his social was wrong. Great. I don't know. We closed the loan. And it's I might tell
save
that
it
one
for the next episode.
Yeah. We got some other ones though. I gotta think through. I gotta think through and consider. But
the crazy story of Jack Frost and the mismatched social. Of
Jack Frost. You have written in our show notes. I'm leaking the show notes, but you have written in our show notes. It says it's not over till it's closed, and I was like, that's true, but really it isn't over until I get paid. Because like you never know what's gonna happen, So especially we're talking about crazy files. I'm sure we're gonna have some stories on here that's like, and we closed, and then dun dun dun.
That's true. That's true. That's a great point. Yeah. But, all right. Well, thank you all for joining us on Closing Time.
Closing Time
with the Lone Rangers.
With the Lone Rangers.
Andrew, do you want to sing our song?
No, I don't.
Do you want to sing the song that I sang, that I wrote?
I don't.
Do you want me to sing it? I want you to sing it. You have a better voice than I do.
I'll sing it with you.
I think you should sing it.
You got to send me. Chris might have to cut this, but you got to send me the. You got to send me the lyrics.
All right, next time. Next time I'll sing it for everybody.
Okay, sing it for everyone next time.
All right. We wrote a song. It's a parody of Closing Time. And maybe next time we'll sing it.
Yeah, we can.
It's really good.
I'm real good.
It's really good.
I'm real good at singing, so
We're so good. All right. Thank you all for joining us on Closing Time with the Lone Rangers. Until next time, remember, it ain't over until it's closed, and sometimes
until I get paid in my bank account. See you guys.